is made visible. Yes, morally, should we say morally? Maybe the government or the military personnel might be trying to take it easy, not to invade the camp where the terrorists are, so that innocent citizens will not be killed or might not be killed in the process. But again, not taking action, does it still protect the lives of these persons that are in the custody of the terrorist? And so it's important that we always remind our government, together now, that we will remind our government that these guys that are in the custody of the terrorists are brothers, are family members, are members of the society, and they must have to be fought for. Do we negotiate with criminals in the country, Nigeria? Well, obviously we've been doing that negotiation. That's why we have to call Mamu, who has been negotiating with the bandits, who has been having conversation with the bandits, and also bringing information to the federal government. And so something has got to be done to ensure that those that are still in the custody of the terrorists will be released. Let's go for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more on all of the issues that we have tonight.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Meet the people making the difference in our time on ATN Icons. Here, we present you legends celebrated for their heroism in different fields and serve as role models today. ATN Icons, showing every Sunday 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes DTH channel 194, ATN Live on Google App Store, Facebook Atlantic Television Network, YouTube Atlantic Television Network, Instagram Atlantic TV Network, Twitter Atlantic TV Net. For sponsorship 0810-634-1777. ATN Icons, celebrating the giants of our time.
The people, the candidates, the party, the campaigns. What really makes an election year? Enough of the rhetorics. It's time for issue-based politics. 2023 elections. Who are the candidates? What do you know about them? Take a seat, relax, and join us for the 2023 elections on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes, DTH, channel 194, or ATN Live on Google Play Store and all our social media platforms. Twitter is at Atlantic TV Net. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. Elections 2023 from Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. Election 2023. We the people have a stake.
Welcome back. If you just join us, you're watching Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Victor RK. Before we went on that break, we were talking about the release of five, abductees of, the Abuja Kaduna train attack. Now, 5 of them have been released again by the terrorists, and we've been talking about the issue, the situation of of security in our nation, the high rate of insecurity in our nation. We've asked questions that we are looking for answers. These questions, I can't provide all of the answers for you. I can't provide all of these answers, but these are questions that are begging for answers. Basically, what is the effort of our government? What's the effort of the security personnel in the nation, Nigeria? 2023 is just by the corner, and we have a few of the individuals as well who are contesting, who have made their ambitions known, who have made their interest known in running for elective offices come 2023. And yeah, they are not the ones in power right now, but again, what could they do to curb the security, or to curb the insecurity in the nation? What can they do differently to ensure that peace is being restored back to Nigeria? Because if we have a high rate of insecurity in the country, that means, or that could also be meaning that that's a high level that when the country is not so much of, we are not enjoying so much peace as we should, because we wake up on a daily basis and we're hearing that there's an attack here, there's an attack there. We keep saying that this might not have gotten to us maybe in the southern region directly, But if it is happening within some of the nooks and crannies of the nation, how long is it going to take before it gets down to this place? Especially because there are no tangible efforts that we are seeing. I mean, the terrorists are not properly repelled. Take, for instance, again, an attack was made on the presidential advance team convoy during the Ed Kabiru celebration. Yes, and nothing was done within that period. An attack was also made on the presidential guard, and nothing was done within that period. I mean, if things like these are happening in a state that is supposed to be heavily guarded, the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT, Abuja, if the security is porous in that area, Nigerians are asking, how can other cities, how can other states fend for themselves? We've had some elective leaders. Remember Governor Matawali of Zamfara State, right? Said to his citizens at a point in time, defend yourself. Get licensed guns. I mean, he was pushing rather for citizens to have licensed arms so that they can defend themselves. Just last night on the show, while I was having a conversation with Vivian Douglas, we also talked about one of the senators in the north, Senator Bagos, right? He also said to the members of his constituents, defend yourselves, arm yourselves. I mean, I keep asking, if we've gotten to this point where we as fellow Nigerians will now begin to, I mean, we don't have military trainings, right? We begin to now defend ourselves. We begin to find a way to defend ourselves against terrorists while we have military personnel who are well trained. I was about to say who are also well kitted up. Ammunitions have been provided, of course, for them, right? They have the training to defend us against the bandits and the terrorists. And if we get to the point where we begin to defend ourselves, we'll keep asking again, which way then are we moving as a country? I mean, how do I even defend myself if I see someone who has a sophisticated weapon coming at me? How do I defend myself against such persons? And you know that when these bandits or terrorists come, they come without mercy. I mean, they come with good ammunition. The Kuje prison attack that happened, military personnel were saying that they were overpowered by the ammunition of the terrorists. And then Nigerians are also asking, does it mean that our soldiers are not properly armed? Does it mean that the Nigerian army is not properly armed? That's a question that needs answers as well. If statements could come that terrorists right now are overpowering our military personnel with sophisticated weapons. Did you also know that the attack that happened on the presidential convoy team, the advanced convoy team as of then, the people that were, the security personnel that were in that particular convoy team had to take cover because they were clearly ambushed. And they didn't even know where they were being shot from. They didn't know where they were shot from. And these are people that have trainings. The president has come out to urge and to charge military personnel to flush out or wipe out the terrorists. Nigerians are saying, you've given an instruction, why don't you follow through to ensure that the instruction given is carried out? Because we cannot continue to be like this in a country like Nigeria. Again, we still have some of these victims in the custody. Let's cast our mind a little bit backwards during the tenure or the regime of the former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, where we had the Chibok girls that were kidnapped and taken to Sambisa, right? Some of those people, some of those girls have still not been recovered. As a matter of fact, when the terrorists made the threat on the president, and when they also made the threat that they were going to start killing the victims in their custody now, presently, and also sell some of them as slaves, they gave us a link to the Chibok girls that were still in their custody, saying that just as they sold some of the Chibok girls as slaves, they were going to sell some of these Abuja Kaduna train victims as slaves. Cast your mind back a little bit. This is over 8 years ago now. And some of those people that were abducted in Chibok have still not even regained freedom. Have still not regained freedom. Right? And we have some persons now being in the custody again of this terrorist. I mean, on a daily basis, people are being kidnapped. And you hear the ransom that is being asked for. It's 100 million. Some entertainers were also kidnapped very recently. About two Nollywood actors were also kidnapped very recently. And the abductors were asking for about 71 or 75 million naira as well as ransom. I mean, think about these things. If 100 million naira is being paid to 46 persons, let's do the maths. That could be about, what's the maths? 10 persons is a billion naira, right? So 46 persons should be about 4.6 billion naira being paid as ransom of Nigeria. You are a citizen of Nigeria. I mean, we might just have some persons who are related to these victims who are also citizens of Nigeria. Now, something also happened in Lautech very recently. Some students were also kidnapped, and about 2 students were kidnapped in that area. Students of Lautech were kidnapped, and the kidnappers are also asking for outrageous amount of money. Young persons are being kidnapped. Old people are being kidnapped. The future of Nigeria, we're not so sure about it anymore. An election is just by the corner, and we have every individual who's got an ambition, who's got an interest in wanting to become a governor, a president, a senator. What are we going to do differently? Let's move on to the next conversation. Let's come back to Niger Delta right now. You know, we're in the Niger Delta region. Let's talk about some of the things that are happening in the Niger Delta region. Now we have Amechi Akpabio Silva about to for control of NDDC. Now we have some top politicians from the South-South zone intensifying their push for the control of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Now the NDDC is an agency saddled with interventionist projects for oil-producing areas. Among the gladiators that are actually battling for to take control of the NDDC now are the former ministers, Chief Goswi Akpabio, the immediate past minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, and Mr. Rotimi Amechi Chibike, who until May this year was also Minister of Transportation. Also believed to be scheming for the control of the agency is the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Mr. Timi Priye Silva, and Deputy Senate President Ovie Omo Agege. Now, the All Progressive Congress stalwarts are working around the clock to influence the appointment of the agency's managing director as well as finance director. The agency has been run by an interim management board since 2019, and the gladiators are backing different persons for the plum job. Incidentally, Amechi, who is strongly believed to have influenced the appointment of Omana Okon Emana as the new Niger Delta minister, is said to be using his closeness, these are allegations now, is said to be using his closeness to President Muhammad Buhari and an influential member of the Villa Cabal to get his nominee from Rivers State appointed as managing director. These basically are still allegations and all of that. But the NDDC for the Niger Delta region happens to be one body or one organization, one association as it is, that is concerned about the growth and development of the Niger Delta region. Right? And we've had some young persons who've been saying to the President Muhammad Buhari, saying the committee, I mean the substantive team that has been created should now take over the running of the NDDC. Now we're having traditional rulers. Uh, Traditional rulers are also backing their own. Of course, Timi Priscilla is being backed by some Bayelsa State traditional rulers, saying that it is their turn to produce the managing director of the NDDC. Now, well, this is the Niger Delta region, right? And so it should affect every one of us. It should affect everyone in the Niger Delta region. Who is going to sit in the board of directors? Who's going to sit as the chairman, as the managing director of the NDDC? Who sits in that seat? Who sits on that position at this point in time is going to tell a lot about the. Is going to have a great impact on the situations happening in the Niger Delta region. I mean, with an organization such as the NDDC, we should be having more of development coming to the Niger Delta region. I mean, we should have more companies created. We should have more jobs provided for the young persons in the Niger Delta region. We should have more schools, or we should have schools properly funded. The Niger Delta region is an oil producing, and so the NDDC as a body as well, I think it was created there for the Niger Delta people and also for the development of the Niger Delta region. But what have we had in the past? Now, having a conversation off air with a few persons and talked about the people who currently now are the gladiators, let's call them that name, talking about Rotimi Amechi, talking about that plan to be the managing directors of the NDDC. And some persons are saying, should Amechi be the managing director now? These are rumors. These are not confirmed facts. Some persons are saying that the former governor of Rivers State and also the former minister of transportation, Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, might not be wanting to even sit in that position, but might want to refer or recommend some other person to be there. But the question is, why not? If it is going to be true anyways, why can't he sit on that position as the managing director? Why shouldn't he be the one to sit if he's been given the opportunity and the privilege to? And some Nigerians or some Niger Delta people will now look at the pedigree of these three gladiators who are battling for the seat of the managing director of the NDDC. Who is going to deliver for the Niger Delta region? Will Chibike Rotimi Amechi bring development to the region? Will it? Looking at all of the things that he has done whilst he was governor, whilst he was minister of transportation, do you think, this is a question I'm being thrown to you now, my viewers, do you think that the former minister of transportation, if being given the privilege or the opportunity to serve in the NDDC board, do you think he can bring a development to the Niger Delta region? Well, that is an answer for you and for me. You give yourself the answer as well. Look at the pedigrees of the former Minister of Transportation. Now, will Etimi Pre-Silver also bring development in the Niger Delta region if it's being given the opportunity to serve as the managing director of the NDDC? Looking at his pedigree as well and all of the things he has also done for the state Bayelsa and for the Niger Delta region, are there things we can look to and say, well, let's consider Timi Pre-Silver and make him the managing director, or allow him to be the managing director of the NDDC? Or will it go Gospel Akpabio still will be suitable for this position? Will he bring a development to the Niger Delta region? These are questions that are begging for answers. Now let's hold on to those thoughts a little bit as we go for this quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more on the NDDC saga. Don't go away. You're watching ATN Express Roundtable. Of course, my name is Victor Arke.
Meet the people making the difference in our time on ATN Icons. Here, who presents you legends celebrated for their heroism in different fields and serve as role models today. ATN Icons, showing every Sunday 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes DTH channel 194, ATN Live on Google App Store, Facebook Atlantic Television Network, YouTube Atlantic Television Network, Instagram Atlantic TV Network, Twitter Atlantic TV Net. For sponsorship 0810-634-1777. ATN Icons, celebrating the giants of our time.
The people, the candidates, the party, the campaigns. What really makes an election here? Enough of the rhetorics. It's time for issue-based politics. 2023 elections. Who are the candidates? What do you know about them? Take a seat, relax, and join us for the 2023 elections on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes, DTH, channel 194, or ATN Live on Google Play Store and all our social media platforms. Twitter is at Atlantic TV Net. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. Elections 2023 from Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. Election 2023. We the people have a stake.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching ATN's Press Roundtable. And the Press Roundtable is a convergence of media practitioners who dissect the news and current affairs and also bring the right narrative in news narration. Tonight on the show, it's been you and I having conversations and asking questions that we are still hoping, to get answers to. And we've talked about the insecurity situations we've got in the country. 5 of the victims of the Abuja Kaduna train attack have been released today. And we'll move down from there. We talked about the NDDC power tussle, where we have the Minister of Transportation, former Minister of Transportation rather, Rotimi Chibika Amechi. We have Timi Prisivia. We have former Governor of Akwa Ibom State as well, Godswill Akpabio, all battling to still sit on the management seat of the NDDC. And the big question I'm going to ask as we're about to wrap up the show tonight is, what really has been the project that has been carried out by NDDC in these past years that has affected the Niger Delta people? Let's think about that for a few seconds. We could go back and forth and have those conversations. But let's hold on to that question and really ask ourselves. And if possible, in a few minutes, just make some research on your own and find out what has been the project carried out by the NDDC. And what impact has this had in the lives of the Niger Delta people? So this is also going to inform us or inform our decision if we have an opportunity. Or is that position an elected position even? So if we have an opportunity to elect who sits the management of NDDC, we should know what we also expect. That's a mentality of our own all the time. It's my turn almost all the time. But we need people who can always deliver, people who can perform. So anyone who is going in there now, at a time like this, should know that we need result in every area. This is how far we can go on to this edition of ATN's Press Roundtable. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for being on the show together with me. And it's been a pleasure for us to have this conversation together. Thank you very much. My name is Victor RK. Of course, you can follow us on all our social media handles. Twitter is at Atlantic TVNet. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic. Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. Do remember the peace and unity are the pathways. Moses Ben is seated for the next program, 2023 elections. Your battle is in 2023, and that's what Moses Ben is going to be extra.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not making our cause. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
The people, the candidates, the party, the campaigns. What really makes an election here? Enough of the rhetorics. It's time for issue-based politics. 2023 elections. Who are the candidates? What do you know about them? Take a seat, relax, and join us for the 2023 elections on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes, DTH, Channel 194, or ATN Live on Google Play Store and all our social media platforms. Twitter is at Atlantic TV Net. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. Elections 2023 from Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. Election 2023. We the people have a stake. The people, the candidates, the party, the campaigns. What really makes an election here? Enough of the rhetorics. It's time for issue-based politics. 2023 elections. Who are the candidates? What do you know about them? Take a seat, relax, and join us for the 2023 elections on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes, DTH, Channel 194, or ATN Live on Google Play Store and all our social media platforms. Twitter is at Atlantic TV Net. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. Elections 2023 from Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. Election 2023. We the people have a stake.
welcome to ATN's Elections 2023. Of course, the month is still fresh. I'm talking about the month of August 2022. A happy new month to you. We hope you are still staying safe. ATN Election 2023 is a platform designed to discuss issues around the general election, specifically to x-ray the candidates and provide a medium to give the people a voice. Of course, you would agree with us, ATN, that within your environment, your locality, where you are being identified with, you have a number of persons who have come up at this point in time to say that we want to represent you rather at different stage of governance in the country, be it the local stage, state level, or the federal level. So all these issues and concern drag our attention to create this particular platform so that you know your candidates, you know who the candidates are. How these and others will affect the next general election become a great concern to all and sundry at this point in time. Atlantic Television Network, as a media with an objective of providing a platform for the people to ventilate their voice, to restore human dignity and ensure satisfaction to the people, has in its characteristic style packaged a special program that will be dedicated to ensuring that the people know the candidates and what they stand for. My name is Moses Ben, saying thank you for joining us on the Tuesday's edition of the program Elections 2023. Of course, our attentions have always been on issues concerning the 2023 general election, but tonight we'll be giving attention to the presidential candidate of Allied People's Movement as we look at other key essential issues that will guarantee success and the choice of right candidates come 2023 general election. We'll go on a very short break. When we return, we'll introduce our guest who will be hampering on this issue tonight as we dig deep. Please stay tuned.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order. Honorable
statement.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
The people, the candidates, the party, the campaigns. What really makes an election year? Enough of the rhetoric. It's time for issue-based politics. 2023 elections. Who are the candidates? What do you know about them? Take a seat, relax, and join us for the 2023 elections on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes, DTH, Channel 194, or ATN Live on Google Play Store and all our social media platforms. Twitter is at Atlantic TV Net. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. Elections 2023 from Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. Election 2023. We the people have a stake.
viewer, we are glad to welcome you back to the program, Elections 2023. If you are just joining us tonight, ATN Election 2023 is the platform designed to discuss issues around the general election, to x-ray the candidates and provide a medium to give the people a voice. Tonight, I'm being joined by my guests to look at issues surrounding the upcoming election 2023, specifically the presidential election and other related matters on this program tonight. He is current president, Rivers State Leadership Advancement Foundation, RIVLIF, also candidate for the Rivers State House of Assembly, Obiakpo Constituency 2, on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. He is Chief Alex Wele. Chief Wele, welcome to Atlantic 2023. All right, dear viewer, sit tight as we dig through the issues on our table tonight. But first, let us look at the presidential candidate of the Allied People's Movement as we present to you on the program tonight, Election 2023, talking about Alhaji Yusuf Maman Dantale. All right, going straight to the issue tonight, dear viewer, the current national chairman of Allied People's Movement, APM, one of the 16th political parties that will be gunning for the 2023 general elections in Nigeria come 2023. With a multiple family background and exposure, along with in-depth experience in businesses, conglomerates, and Alhaji Yusuf Dantale was born into the family of late Alhaji Maman Dantale, a famous entrepreneur, enterprise and businessman on the 25th October 1971, with ancestral origin from Kumoya town, Bongare local government area of Kano State. A schooled personality, having studied both at home and abroad, graduated in sociology from the famous Bayero University, Kano State in 2003, and had its school certificate from Community Secondary Commercial College, CSCC, Ayegba in Kogi State in 1987. The late father had, at one time or the other, was a representative and overseer of John Holt Company and its activities, as well as other indigenous and nationalized companies, and rose to a major shareholder during the indigenization policy in Nigeria. The patriarch's thriving businesses and interests spread across the old northern states. Her feet he later took over after the demise of his late father and transformed to Dantele Oil Mills Nigeria Limited after delving into mass production of oil palm, having bought over of the only gigantic oil mill factory from the colonial masters located in Ayingba in the then Benue, Kwara, and now Kogi State. He is the chairman and chief executive of Dantale Oil Palms Mill, located in Ayingba, Kogi State, as well as Dantale and Company Limited, a petroleum firm. He owns a larger interest in Dantale Waters Limited in Ayingba, with coverage areas spread across Lokoja, the state capital, and the federal capital in Abuja. He has work experience, having served with Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission and IPC in 2005, among many other private endeavors. A mechanized and subsistent farmer in specialized farm of oil palm, Alhaji Yusuf Maman Dantale served as the General Secretary, National Palm Produce Association of Nigeria, and nurtured the association to fruition that guaranteed the large production of palm oil both for Nigerians' local markets and for exportation. Alhaji Dantale is the current National Secretary, Inter-Party Advisory Council, HIPAC, from 2020 till date. Dantale at one time or the other contested to be President of Nigeria in 2019. He is the pioneer, APM National Chairman till date. He was also the governorship candidate of APM in the 2019 election in Kogi State, with remarkable performance towards winning the election. Before then, He was also the deputy governorship candidate of Labour Party, LP, in the 2015 election in Kogi State. A member Presidential Committee on Global Carp Standards 2014, National Secretary, National Palm Produce Association from 2012 to 2021, and member NPPAN 2021. Dan Talley was the party's sole presidential candidate and was elected by delegates in the presidential primary held at the party secretariat in Abuja on Wednesday, 8th June 2022. Dear viewer, tonight, this is who we are x-raying briefly as we delve into the real issue of tonight, talking about the presidential candidate of the Allied People's Movement, in the person of Alhaji Yusuf Maman Dantale. Chief Willie, talking about profiles, what people have done in the past, most especially when it concerns general election as we'll be having very shortly, can we really say that this can make one to be qualified in contesting as prestigious as the position of the presidency of this country? Your own point of view before we look at who this person is to you, as a matter of fact.
Well, thank you, and good evening, viewers. Yeah, for me, people's profile, talking about the catalog of your achievements, who you are, your personality. It does matter in elections, especially at this period, but not necessarily that perhaps maybe if you have attained a certain level of education while you were in school, maybe you were a first class citizen, first class material, and all those. Sometimes in election, they don't count. Election is a different ballgame. But indeed, presenting your personality before Nigeria matter, because we want to know how organized you are. We want to know how your journey of life started and the achievement you have come across your way before now. And to some extent, that will make people to take you a bit serious in the business of politics and governance. We want to know your track record of achievement in the areas where you have worked in the past, and where you have managed people, how you have managed people and resources. They want to look at your temperament, to look at your goal setting. They want to look at your focus on what actually, looking at your background, what you can really achieve for this country. So I think that to some reasonable extent, your profile matters. But technically in politics of Nigeria especially, you see a situation where somebody has gone to Cambridge, you have attained this, you have attained that, you have got this, you got that, but at the end of the day, that's not what Nigerians are looking at. They are looking at maybe possibly the stomach infrastructure. They are looking at what you can give them on the spot. They are looking at that man who could just go to the street and eat amala with the ordinance, not the man who speaks English. So it's a complicated situation.